Okay, so I start the vlog. Hello. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I'm really shiny. I just put sunscreen on. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Bismer. I'm an author and an editor. All my stuff is linked down below. We're working on book number 11 and we're vlogging till we get it done. I've actually made so much progress in the past couple of days. This is my little tracker I've been filling out as I finish each chapter. We're currently sitting at 50 total and we just finished chapter 30. So I'm more than halfway done. This is the current word count. It's getting up there. I feel like I'm done with most of the major additions. I might end up adding one more new scene towards the end because the thing is, because this is a series of interconnected standalones, I want everything to feel resolved enough in this book, and I want to give closure with these different relationships and stuff. But if someone is going to get a book in the future and we're going to see them some more, I'm kind of like trying to figure out what the balance is of like how much closure do we really need in this book when we could get it in their book later. So I'm kind of going back and forth on whether or not I need this scene to get a little more closure between these two characters, or if it's something that can be further explored in a later book, because I want these all to be standalones that you can read on your own or on their own. It's not a series that you have to read in order. So we're kind of figuring that out. I also started a new editing client this week for a copy edit, so I've been working on that. It's a genre I have not edited in a hot minute, so it's been a nice change of pace. We're moving over to the coloring process for the piece of character art that I'm getting commissioned, which I'm excited about. And now that we're in July, this is the month when a lot of things are happening. My cover artist is going to get started on the people cover for this book. I already have the alternate cover. And then that same designer is going to help with some things that I need for the signings that I'll be going to, like banners and stuff like that. And I should be getting the finished piece of character art, so I have like a knot in my hair. So a lot of design stuff happening this month. I think that's the update. That's what's been going on. As I was talking about in the previous video, I've been compiling my lists of influencers that I want to contact for PR boxes, arc raiders, that kind of stuff. So that's an ongoing process. Thank you so much if you commented on the last video with recommendations. I really appreciated that. I think I have like somewhere between 30 and 40 on my list that I want to contact so far. I definitely plan on contacting more than that. So we're not done, but it's something I'm going to be chipping away at over the next couple of weeks or so. Also just trying to hammer down some specific dates on when I want to do all of these reveals. Got cover reveals, blurb reveals, the release date, arc signups. Gotta figure out dates for all of it. Also, because I'm trying to get this book to my proofreader on August 12th, I'm thinking I'm gonna include the first 2 chapters of book 2 at the end as like a sneak peek. Hopefully pique people's interest, make them pre-order book 2, get excited about book 2. Thankfully I already have those 2 chapters pretty much done. I've edited them so much and I'm actually so happy with them. I think it's like such, I don't know, I'm like really pleased with the opening of book 2. So my poor proofreader, I gave her an estimate of 100K for this book, and it's gonna be bigger than that. But no one else has read the first 2 chapters of book 2. So I kind of want to get someone's opinion on them as well. Someone who's read book 1 and like knows these characters already. So I don't know. I'm gonna answer a few questions from yesterday's vlog, then we're gonna get back to work. I guess it wasn't yesterday, the previous vlog. Okay, so someone was asking about rough author royalties based on word count. And they asked specifically if you have a word count of this and it's priced at this, or am I gonna make this much money? Is that true, basically? Do you have a video anywhere breaking down the royalties you get with your book? So I actually do. This was actually one of the very first self-pub 101 videos we ever did over on Patreon. I think it was the second video, like 4 years ago. It looks like this. I'll link it down below. It's a tough question to answer. I don't know the answer to your question, if that's specifically how much you're gonna make with that price and everything. It also depends on a lot of stuff. So it sounds like you're asking about for print copies. This will depend on if you're printing through KDP, if you're doing expanded distribution, if you're doing through Income Spark, if you're doing directly through any of the other vendors like Barnes & Noble Press. You'll have something different everywhere. It'll be different in different countries. Like there's so many variables. If you set up your book in KDP and you go into the pricing, it'll give you an estimate of how much it's going to cost to print, how much Amazon's going to take from that, and then what your royalty will be. So you can kind of tinker around with the numbers in there to get a better idea. For an example, for Marionettes book 1, the paperback, which is priced at $14.99, that book is like 71,000 words, I think, somewhere in there. The printing cost is $4.48, which kind of makes it sound like, oh my god, you're making $10 on that book. No. Amazon takes quite a bit So the royalty that I make from that $15 book is $4.50, which is actually quite high as far as royalties go. I make much less on the later books in the series because they're longer and they're more expensive to print. So that first book I make a decent amount on because it's a shorter book, which is also why the later books in the series are priced a bit higher to kind of counteract that. For the royalties, if you were to go over to Ingram Spark, especially because I offer a wholesale discount in order to get those books into stores, and booksellers, they want you to put like a 50% discount, which is crazy. I might make like $1 or $2 off of books sold that way. So it really depends on where you're selling, how you price it. My sweet spot is I would ideally like to keep it above $3 for a royalty, although it does dip below that with wholesale stuff sometimes. Basically, I try to keep the royalty of a print copy the same as the royalty I would get from an ebook if you bought it outright. And then if you read it in Kindle Unlimited, I'm making even less because they're not paying very much for Kindle Unlimited these days. And the second part of your question, where did you get your assistant and would you ever make a video on the process of working with one? I'm considering working with one. So I've had 2 assistants over the years. Both of them I like put out a post being like, hey, I'm looking to have someone work with me, and I made an application form and had people submit, and then I ended up choosing people that way. I found it tough, to be honest, because ideally I want to bring in someone to make my life easier and to give me more time to do the things that only I can do, like write the books. And the like having to manage them and train them and stuff like that, I was putting so much time into that it just like didn't feel worth it for me, and I just like was not getting where I needed. I just haven't found the right fit yet, and I just haven't had the time or the patience to continue to try and find the right fit. Lots of people swear by their assistants and have people who are so helpful for them, which is awesome. I am hoping to one day find that perfect fit for me. This is nothing against the people who've worked with me in the past at all. That whole like managing role, I personally didn't like having to do that. As my business scales, I know I'm going to need to get better at delegating, and I am gonna have to put in the time to like properly train someone, but it is tough, especially when you're used to doing everything yourself and you like things a certain way. I need like a clone of me. I need someone who can read my mind. I actually think those are all the questions. So if you have something that you want answered in the next vlog, feel free to comment it on today's, and I'm gonna get back to work.